Well, good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's doing okay. Just wanted to share a couple of things on this Friday morning. First of all, I actually am trying to take a week off from work, which we'll see how that actually goes. I won't be able to go to work because I'm not going to be able to access my office physically for the next couple of days because I'm not going to be around. But it's kind of a challenge. I imagine for some of you it's that way as well. Just even when you try to go on vacation, it never really feels like it, whether it's actually having to get work done or just thinking about it and the stress that comes with that, just wanting to make sure everything goes well while you're gone. And been dealing with that myself, and I'll probably still be dealing with that stress, but hopefully not having to do something work related every day, at least for the next couple of days. Hopefully after today. I got a few things I could get done here this morning, but did want to share something, a couple of things, because they do tie to something that I look at a lot, and that deals with the economy, especially at a local level, state level. In North Carolina, where I live, it was a pretty good day yesterday, at least from a prestige perspective. CNBC magazine publishes, I'm sorry, CNBC network, not magazine, my apologies. They publish a rating of best states for business each year, and North Carolina has done very well now for many years. Had been number one, lost that ranking last year, and managed to get it back this year. So yesterday they announced North Carolina ranks number one. So it's kind of like the AP poll in college sports for economic development. And it is reflective of a lot of things that North Carolina has done. It really goes back about 60 years, over 60 years, when they developed Research Triangle Park, when they started to make an intentional public and private investment in developing corridors and locations for the agglomeration of industry and talent tied to emerging sectors in technology and science. That has certainly been a key to North Carolina's growth in the last couple of generations. And you certainly see that in the Triangle area. You see it in Charlotte. You see it even in the Triad. You see it even in places like Asheville and Wilmington. And that's another benefit that North Carolina has, is that it can offer just about any physical environment you want, from the mountains to the coast. And of course, you look at the fact that places like Asheville in the mountains, Wilmington on the coast, have done very well for themselves economically over the last couple of decades, and continue to do so, other than having to deal with natural disasters. And all this ties together, and it is overall very good for the state. What I will also say, having lived there now almost 19 years, is in North Carolina, you definitely see overall state growth. You see a lot of areas, certain areas in the state, that have seen considerable above average growth, and that above average growth continues. But at the same time, you also see a lot of disparity at a local geographic level. There are a lot of counties and a lot of places in North Carolina that have not grown, and in some cases have actually seen continued economic decline, especially due to the impact of globalization, starting in the 1990s. And these areas many of them have are home to industries, or were home to industries, that have not kept up, especially here domestically. And it does lead to, I would say, that those economic disparities do contribute to the political polarization that we see now. In North Carolina, for many years, we've talked about it as the rural-urban divide. I would say you could also argue the economically successful, non-economically or economically unsuccessful divide. And that certainly has an impact on politics. And we see that now. I'm probably going to talk a little bit more about this on Sunday, once I really get my thoughts together. But the fact is that it is there. And as strong as North Carolina is as a state economically, it does have some considerable issues when you compare locality to locality. Also, just to say, another thing I wanted to mention, Bureau of Economic Analysis released a report yesterday. It's a kind of a prototype report. They admitted it's something new that they're trying to look at the disbursement of personal income. They're starting at the state level. I hope that they will eventually get to the county level, because the more that we can learn about how personal income is spent, the more we can also understand economic disparities. And understand, how, for example, if you have an area with a higher level of per capita income or median household income, how that might influence their spending patterns, what they use their money for, and also then how that may lead to further economic enrichment for those areas in terms of the kinds of goods and services that they have, or the impact it has on real estate markets, or the impact that it has on investments. It's going to be very helpful to have this information. And again, they're starting off at the state level, and hopefully they'll get down to the county level so that we have increased and improved understanding, so that we can really truly understand our economy. So I'm going to go get some coffee, and y'all take care. Have a good day.